streaming. And I think we're up. All right, guys.
Awesome.
Hey, what's going on? It's our newest or latest episode of BBT. That's Byte Talk, episode number 2. And this is Don here from Novaspirit Tech. And we have John from TechWizTime. Oh, my God.
Hey.
And to start off, we actually got a couple of topics that we want to talk about. Mainly one is obviously the headline on this topic, which is going to be the 30K giveaway announcements. And basically, I'm reaching my milestone of 30,000 subscribers soon. And TechWizTime, John, he's going to be reaching his milestone of 5,000 soon, or he reached it just recently too. And what we're going to do is actually we're going to be doing a giveaway at the end of the month for Amazon $35 gift card. And to enter, we're going to have an actual Gleam IO link. We're going to put it in the description at the end of the video. And then in there's going to have instructions on how to do what you need to do to get these little... I don't even know how to explain it. I've done it before too. You want to finish this? Basically, there's 5... How many chances?
At the moment, there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 chances, I believe.
7 chances to win, or 7 chances to get in.
I'm just double checking how many entries I did put in there because I set this up late last night and it was a very late night. So let's have a look. How to enter. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 is correct.
7 chances to win?
Yep.
Okay, hang on 1 second. I'm just trying to switch over some stuff.
Not a problem.
And I just realized that my dashboard was not working on my YouTube, so it's doing something funky.
And don't forget to mute that as well. I made that mistake.
Mute what? What are you talking about?
Mute the live stream audio on the actual dashboard page.
Oh, mine is actually muted.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, okay. Anyway, one of the things that we just missed the mark on, so Monday, 4 a.m. after our live stream and stuff like that, well, 6 or 7 hours after our live stream, they actually released the Raspberry Pi Zero W, which this guy already got one. I can't even find them anywhere. Everywhere I find is sold out. It's just like the Raspberry Pi Zero, like the old one, sold out. I don't even know how you got it. Like, which website did you go to get it?
I got it from Pomoria. So they're a company based out of the UK, and they still had stock in... Well, they still had a few of them in stock at that stage, so I thought, I'll jump on, I'll take the chance, and I ordered it, and it actually arrived today just before this video.
Was it $10, or did they like spike it up and be like, hey, you know what, $15 since it's brand new?
No, it was the kit form, so I got the HDMI adapter, the USB on-the-go adapter, and the header pins.
Oh, that's cool.
So I got all that for, I think it was just over £11.
What's £11? Talk US to me.
I would say it would have been about $15 something like that.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
Does it come with a power connector, or you have to use your own USB power connector?
No, you have to use your own USB power connector.
So for those of you who don't know what the new Raspberry Pi Zero W is, which it's been all over the internet, so I've even looked it up, what they added is Wi-Fi and Bluetooth.
And just underneath the black chip there, you'll see, hopefully if this focus is right, you'll see a little triangle mark there. And what they've done is they've actually included the Wi-Fi in the PC board itself. So instead of being a separate chip, it's actually baked into the PCB.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I actually looked up some stuff on it right before this video, and somebody already modded it to increase the Wi-Fi range by adding its own external antenna. Now, I was reading that it's illegal or something. I'm not really too sure.
It's to do with the FCC regulations.
Oh, yeah. So let me pull up a little snippet on the website on what it looks like. So basically,
Awesome.
they're taking this little prong over here and desoldered that little green piece on the board and added an antenna and moved that little green piece down. And that allows you to plug in an external antenna, which is basically amazing for doing what it needs to do. So that, I don't know. I feel like I just wasted a lot of my money on trying to get the Pi 1.3 because it doesn't have Wi-Fi. And for me to like buy a Wi-Fi dongle to put it on, then have to work to solder and get all this going, $10 is so worth it. But then again, they released it so they did the 1.1 or 1.2. That's without the camera mods. Then
Yep.
like 6 months later, they decided to do the 1.3, and then what? Another 6 months now they decide to release the Wi-Fi, and that's what's killing me. Like, I bought the original 1.2, then
Yep.
bought the 1.3, then now I'm like, now I have to buy the Wi-Fi.
And this board revision is 1.1, so I would say that, yeah, they may release another revision down the track.
See, and then I'm gonna be stuck with another one with Wi-Fi, and then they're gonna release something else with like a weird Ethernet port or something.
That would be interesting.
You haven't had a chance to really play with it, right? They didn't change any of the specs.
They didn't change any of the specs. However, they did change the layout of some of the chips and some of the positioning. So yeah, if that's why they brought out a brand new case for it as well. And the new case is it's the white and red style case of the Pi 3 that they released, but in the Pi 0 format.
Okay, let me see.
Pulling out yours.
I'm trying to pull mine out. Oh, they moved the board. Like they moved the board over a bit.
Okay.
Like the actual CPU, they shifted it over
Yeah.
to make room for that. To make room for that thing. It looks almost the same. It's just they moved the CPU.
Yeah.
So they actually had to do a huge major revision.
Yeah.
To shift that over. Because all the resistors and everything that used to be on there had to be moved to another spot.
So they would have had to remap all the traces and all that sort of thing on the PCB so they could still get the same, form factor, the same usability out of it.
Yes. Yeah, they must have spent a lot of time because when you revision these boards to fit it to what you wanted to, don't it take a lot of time to actually like redo the whole thing?
Oh, for sure. I mean, they would have had to go through testing, different revisions, making sure that the actual board itself worked. I've seen they've done a video somewhere, I can't remember where I saw it, but a PCB about, there I am, about that tall by about that wide where they just all snap off.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I thought, wow, that's amazing. It'd be awesome to get your hands on a nice little bundle like that.
On those? Yeah.
Yep.
So I've been playing around with more of the Asus Tinker Board.
Yep.
And I gotta say, every time I play with it, I get worse and worse experience. I'm telling you, that thing is like terrible. I don't know.
And what were you telling me earlier about their website?
Oh yeah, they actually took the FAQs off. So if you guys saw my video on my review on the Asus Tinker Board, and I said like, oh, in the FAQs they said you could watch Netflix and that they had what is it, HDMI 1.4, but on the website it says 2.0. Anyway, that whole thing gone. The FAQs gone. Manuals, 0 documents found. So I don't know. They must have figured out that they got misinformed from their factory, and now they realize that all their information is wrong. So all the documents that used to be on FAQs and all that stuff is gone. So
I feel like they just walked over to it. They lit a match, threw some Caro on there, and went poof, and then walked away and went, I'm out.
Yeah, they're like, peace. I don't even want to deal with it. But they really got to get on the ball with this. Apparently, somebody on my channel did write a comment saying that the board is still not officially released, and that a pallet of this got leaked somehow, and they were just selling it, which is weird because I bought it from Amazon, and the seller came directly from Asus.
Which is strange, yeah.
And if I look back at my Amazon orders, and you can't even buy it on Amazon anymore, it's gone completely. Like everything's gone. It's like this board never existed. I don't even know how. It's a ghost board. I don't even know how I have it. But yeah, exactly. But um, when I look back at my previous order, it does say sold by Asus. So is it a pallet that got stolen and got released secretly, or Asus was like, oh man, we made a big mistake with this. Let's just like pretend it never existed and not do anything about it.
That's right. So yeah, that's really interesting that yeah, there was a major release of a product or a leaked major release of a product, and yeah, they had to recall all the information so no one had the information about the boards.
Yeah, that's pretty insane. Like for them to do that, like just hide the whole thing.
Yep.
So Lee Young, actually, I'm just gonna pick this up real quick. Lee Young was asking, do you have any first projects with the Raspberry Pi W? Raspberry Pi Zero W?
For first projects, I am looking at a couple of ideas. One is running a USB webcam directly from it and a battery power bank. So just as almost a mini security system, basically.
That's gonna be pretty cool. They actually have some operating systems pre-done for security stuff for Pis, for Raspberry Pis. I'll leave a link, or I'll give you a link later. It's an actual whole system done. Like you load in the OS and you log in through the IP, and you basically control everything. Like it has motion detection, it has email signals. Like if it detects some motion, it'll automatically send you an email. So that'll be pretty crazy to see if you put that together with the camera module and turn it into like a security camera and using that software for a low cost Pi and battery powered. Or a dash cam, for a car.
Exactly. Yeah, a dash cam would be awesome.
And then if somebody like hits your car or something like that, even though you're not there, it'll email you like somehow and be like,
That
hey,
is
look,
really.
And then when they email you, that system that I'm talking about gives you a clip of what happened within that time that they detected the motion. Like it's a 30-second clip or 5-second clip or whatever it was. So I played around with it because I was going to do a video on security systems on the Raspberry Pi 3.
Yep.
And I really never got around to it. But now that we're talking about it, I might be interested in doing it again.
It seems like such a great idea. I mean, it's such a small product. You can put it in a really small enclosure. It's Wi-Fi enabled, so basically you can communicate with your network without needing to hook up any Ethernet cables. The only thing you're going to need is power, which if you get a cheap little USB power bank, you can power the thing, from anywhere, basically.
Yeah, especially that's low powered, low efficiency, so you could run a battery for a decent amount of time, especially if you get like a good LiPo battery from a cell phone.
Yep.
Like a used cell phone, you could just take one of those, and that could probably run it for a while.
Yeah. Well, the other thing you could do as well is hook it up to a little solar panel and have it outside with a battery power bank as well.
And you could have and the security camera with solar.
Exactly.
Outdoors, like you could see who's stealing your mail. Oh well, in New York, that's who's stealing your mail. I don't know about Australia, but you could view it like who's stealing your mail with the solar power. They'll probably steal the webcam with the solar power just to make sure that you won't even get it.
Yeah. That would be awesome.
Yeah, so definitely a lot of projects to be had with that. I would be interested to see what you're gonna do. I don't know if I'm gonna purchase one anytime soon. I have a list of projects piled up, especially like now I got my computer coming. Back to from last episode. So Amazon screwed me over a little bit, and
of course
they had a whole pre-order. So I pre-ordered the CPU 2 weeks before the shipping date. And they failed to mention that they didn't have enough orders to fulfill everything. So basically, by the time March 2nd came around and everything was supposed to be shipped out, everything that I ordered, back ordered. The CPU, the motherboard, all back ordered. That's because they just didn't have enough supply. So whoever pre-ordered, I guess 3 hours before I did, probably got it. And now they finally just gave me a shipping date, so I should be receiving it soon from Amazon itself. But I'm still missing my motherboard, so I'm staring at my cool case, thinking about to put something in there. But I won't. I'll have the CPU by Wednesday, but I won't have the motherboard till next week. It's just one of those things that, like, man, I want it so bad. You know, like when you're a kid, you want to buy that video game. It's like that,
Yeah.
and it's in your hand, but you just can't do anything with it because you didn't buy the system.
Yep.
It's like I went out to buy the Super Nintendo cartridge, but I didn't. I don't own a Super Nintendo.
Believe it or not, when the original Matrix movie came out, I bought the Matrix on DVD
Wait, this is number
because I
one.
loved it that much.
This is the Matrix, the DVDs, Matrix Zero, or the whole collection, the trilogy.
No, no, the original Matrix. So back in 2000.
1999.
Yep, 1999. Yeah.
Or is it 2000? You might be right.
Well, it was the real. It was basically the start of when DVD was starting to become more popular, and the DVD players
Yeah.
cost like, oh,
Yeah.
I think I bought my first one for about $300 or $400.
And now I have one sitting on the shelf, and I don't even know how to recycle it. It's like that. It's like we got into a point where my computer won't even have a CD-ROM drive anymore.
Same here. Yeah, I don't. I think I only have one machine, and it's a laptop.
With the CD-ROM, right?
Yeah.
I just finally replaced all my laptops, and I have no CD-ROMs at home. So, thinking about purchasing like one of those USB. You remember I was telling you like a USB DVD drive type thing, just so I need it when I need it, I
Yeah.
have it.
Yeah,
But
just having it on the shelf so you can plug it in whenever you need it.
yeah, I haven't used one in like decades. Um, Everything's on USB, so I even bought a router, and guess what? The CD did not come with the CD; it came with the USB for the software.
Wow.
Yeah, it's Let me see if I can. Here, I'll show you one second.
Yeah.
Check this out. What is this?
Wow.
Actually, there you go, Cisco.
Yep.
So now you can just buy like I dropped something. Now you can just buy freaking um, routers, and
Well,
they
it's
all
like the
come.
latest version of Windows 10. Windows 10 Pro and normal edition, if you buy the retail copy, you'll get it on a USB stick.
Yeah, basically, because they don't want to give you CD. It's so much cheaper. I bet you USB is cheaper than CDs now.
It would be because, I mean, I actually don't own any blank media anymore because I don't need it.
Yeah, same thing. See, look, head units in the car, right? It's only got a screen now. It doesn't even have a CD. You just plug in an SD card in for the head
Yep.
units and stuff like that.
It's all Bluetooth and all that sort of thing in cars, so
Yeah. So that's right. My car doesn't even have a CD-ROM drive. Neither does either car doesn't have it. Yeah, both my
mine
cars
does
don't
because it's a 2010 model.
You might be able to answer that. They're asking something.
Yeah, so how do I connect the Raspberry Pi to an iPhone through an app?
Well, what are you trying to connect?
Yeah, that's the real question. When it comes to what we are talking about before with the Raspberry Pi Zero, you would connect through a web browser, so you wouldn't actually connect through an app itself. You'd view the live feed of the security camera directly from a web browser. Yeah.
So, okay, back to the
Ryzen?
Ryzen. So because now it finally launched around March 2nd, a lot of like benchmarks been coming out and stuff like that, and the benchmarks are insane. I've been looking at
Yep.
the 1800X, and it's comparing to the 6900K, which is $1,000 CPU. So you could buy a $499 CPU from AMD that competes against $1,000 CPU. Like we were saying like last episode, I still can't get my head over this. It's like the markup is insane, just like how they did this. And now I could get an affordable workstation that's just as fast as Intel's 6900 flagship chip. And one of the things that I was looking up, somebody already broke the world record on the fastest overclock on the Ryzen, which is 5.8 gigahertz using liquid nitrogen. So
That's all.
That is insane. But here's the limitation. It actually could go a lot higher. The problem is that the motherboards all have like a bad BIOS or bad firmware that they cannot use the full speed of the RAM. So it's like all the RAM got locked at like 2400 megahertz.
Yep.
And until Asus, not Asus, I mean until AMD releases the new schematics, and then they could all rebuild their BIOS to fix the RAM issue.
Yep.
You could actually essentially overclock this to be much higher. They're thinking like in the six point somethings, because the RAM limitation. Now this new CPU is supposed to support DDR4 with 3200 megahertz or 3400 megahertz. It's supposed to be like really crazy. So I can't wait until that fixes the problem.
It'll be
There
amazing.
are always
It
going to be
really will
bottlenecks
be.
somewhere. So my question is, they're saying that NVIDIA 1080s, I'm planning to get a 1070 because it's on the more affordable side, but they're saying after PAX, like next week or a week from now, they're saying that
Yep.
they're going to drop the prices of 1080s. Now, I don't know how much, and here's the thing. I don't know if I should wait for the price drop before I buy the graphic card, which means I will delay my build of my CPU yet another week because I'm waiting for these lowered prices. I'm gonna beat
It's
myself up. Look, imagine I buy a 1070 right now, okay, for
Yep.
$370 or almost close to $400. I buy one right now, and then freaking
Yep.
next week, a 1080 comes out for $425, and I'm gonna be beating myself. I'm like, why couldn't I just wait a week?
Yeah.
Because the 1080 is much faster than 1070. Like just the overall, and the water cool block that I'm getting will support both graphic cards anyway, so it doesn't matter which one I go. The problem is, do I wait? Do I be
Well, okay.
patient? Or
You've
do I?
got Prime, don't you?
Huh?
You've got Prime with Amazon.
Yes, I got Prime.
Yep. So they do next day shipping with a lot of their tech products, don't they?
They do 2-day shippings with a lot of the tech products. Yes.
So maybe it is worth waiting if you've got to wait on other components, and then just choose the next day shipping.
I could. But
Yeah,
that
that's a
still
tough
delays my
one.
build. Like next week, I'm hoping like by Monday or Tuesday, I'll have my water cooling, my CPU, well, my motherboard, and all the stuff that comes in. Now I'm going to be staring at a full computer without a graphic card. Now I'm going to be like, oh, you know what? I'll just put it together and run it without a graphic card. But no, I still can't make a video because I'm going to do a launch video of my entire build. So I need all the parts here.
Ooh, that's a tough one.
Actually, to get back to that question, that's a good question for um, about the amateur radio. A lot of people in the UK use the Raspberry Pi as amateur radio. It's a
Wow.
huge thing. So it's not, if you're asking like if it's advisable to do it, it's actually a really huge thing about it. I've actually talked to a few people from the UK through my Facebook page, and
Mm.
I helped them set up some of the amateur radios on getting the antennas set up and what antennas they should buy. But it's a huge thing to basically turn your Raspberry Pi into a ham radio, and then you could communicate 2 ways and all that stuff. It's huge.
That is awesome.
That's one of the reasons why I did that earlier video with the Bluetooth, that I could receive FM signals using that pin 4. Like using one of the
Yep.
pins on here, pin 4, you could clock your megahertz speed to be the same frequency as the radio wave, and then you could receive. That's a huge thing right now. Not to receive, I mean to send. I could actually play an MP3 file or wave file from my Raspberry Pi, omit the frequency through pin 4, and have
Yep.
my clock frequency run that frequency as the radio and send out signals. So I could actually plug in a mic, be like blah 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 blah, and have my own radio station.
That is awesome.
Yeah, I have a video on that, and that's huge in the UK, especially if you're like kids um, that wants to send signal back and forth, and you guys live like 2 blocks down or like an avenue away or something like that, that you could still receive the radio signals through air. Imagine that type of walkie-talkie, basically.
It's like, yeah, it's a high-tech walkie-talkie.
Yeah, it's a high-tech walkie-talkie. So if you go camping and you set one of these guys up, especially like the Raspberry Pi Zeros,
Oh,
you might think like, hey, let's do a walkie-talkie through Wi-Fi, but you're limited by sight range, trees, and all that stuff. But if you could send
yep.
radio signals, you could do it with the Raspberry Pi, just plugging in one of these like one of these little wires to like pin 4, and that extends the range of the radio frequency.
Yep. So to answer Plucky's question, amateur radio is basically where you're operating a radio station directly from your Pi, or sending it and receive, or no, it's sending radio signals directly from the Pi.
Yeah, yeah. And then on the other hand, I just have a regular radio to receive the signal.
Yep.
Because this doesn't do the receiving, you have to buy a USB module just to get the receiving end. But to send, you could just hit it up, and send it.
To be honest, you could use a Raspberry Pi Zero, throw it into a little AM/FM radio box.
Oh my
plastic
God.
shell. Yeah, you could drill into and make it into a walkie-talkie.
That is a good idea, because the smaller radios already have batteries, so you can power the Pi together. You just hit it up with a switch to do the send and receive, and then now you already have you could combo it with antenna modules inside the radio.
Yep. Yeah, and just have it tuned to a frequency, so that way you basically have your own homemade walkie-talkie with a Raspberry Pi Zero.
And that's a cool project too, what Lee Young was saying. You have a Raspberry Pi Zero, probably control like some sort of relay, something like these guys.
Ooh, yeah.
Auto start your car from like your driveway or something like that. And especially if it could auto connect to like your job, if you park close enough that has a Wi-Fi and it auto connect to Wi-Fi.
Yep.
You could like have it relay and start your car.
Oh, actually, that's really cool for security as well. Like if you were close enough to your building where you worked, putting the external antenna on the Raspberry Pi Zero W and boosting that signal so you can connect to your work's Wi-Fi and then get a feed direct on your desktop.
Yes. Not only that, you could also kind of talk back and forth if you have some relay modules to do whatever you need to do, like warm up the heaters or whatever it is, start up your car. That's a pretty good idea.
Yeah.
Huh. Anyway, before we segue way off what we're talking about, let's see if there's some of these questions that we...
So any cool projects to try with the Raspberry Pi 3? There are so many projects to try. A lot of people are doing little arcade units. Adafruit have the Pi Girls. Wow, yeah, there is a lot of different things that you can do with them. One of the projects that I'm going to be working on is using a remote with a flirt case and a, where is it? It's a little infrared receiver. Here we go. So I've got a couple there. I'm going to drill a hole into the case, and have it as a remote controlled media center.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. So it'll be able to receive the signal from any sort of remote. I just bought this one because it was cheap and it looked nice.
Would it be easy to program?
Yeah, definitely.
I haven't really played much with infrared for Raspberry Pi, especially like if it's anything. Well, it can't be because Arduinos. I've done it with Arduinos, but it's like a C code, so it'll be completely two different sides. You're probably going to be running what, Python to do that?
To be honest, I'm not 100% sure yet. I've got to play around with it some more, but to my understanding, the way that the software is all written with Kodi and Linux and so forth, if you press the button, it will actually receive it through the IR receiver without any codes.
Lee Young was like, I tried infrared once. I promptly quit. It's confusing. I tried it, and I'm not good with trying to figure out the receiving end. And then after that, you receive it, you get it in the console. You're like, oh yeah, you need 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 1, 0, 1, 0, whatever. and then you have to repeat that to send it out. I wasn't good with infrared. That's why I've never done any tutorials as far as like program the remote on infrared.
And that's why I thought if I do a tutorial on it, and especially with this case here, because it's a nice looking case. And
can you pull that up a little bit?
Yep.
Let me see the other side.
So it's the Flirt case, FLIRC.
Flirt case.
FLIRC. And that's it there. So the case
What's
actually
that thing in the
acts.
Middle? That's a heat sink?
Yep.
Oh, that's sick.
So the case is aluminium, so it actually acts as the heatsink.
Look at my case.
Is that the camera module?
Yes. 3D printed camera module. And how I used it to stick it is I got these like thumbtacks that I stole from my son. And that's how I stuck it on there.
Wicked. That's awesome. Yeah, so that's something that I'll work on, and if I can get it working right and get it working easily enough, it's going to be a great tutorial that anyone should be able to follow along with. And yeah, like I said, all I'll have to do is just drill a hole there into the aluminium to poke the little infrared receiver through, which I've already lost. And yeah, I'm hopeless.
It's all right. So, just to move off topic, because I know we've been talking about the Pi a lot, but
yeah.
One of the things we did want to talk about was YouTube TV.
Yes.
And I am interested. I am very interested. The only thing about it is that I don't know if it's going to be streaming live. So what type of commercials am I going to get? Or if I'm going to get any. I don't mind watching the commercials. It's basically like baked into us because we watch so much TV that like the commercials is like baked in. That's part of the experience to watch TV. Is the well, not really, but the point is, I wonder how they're really gonna do the live TV for YouTube because they actually have like all the main channels. So example, I'm in the East Coast, right?
Yep.
And somebody, there's other people who are in the West Coast. You're in Australia, so obviously our shows will not play in the same time. So they're telling me that YouTube would connect to the local provider and stream their channel, so we'll get normal television, or are they just gonna grab the episodes and stream it like Netflix?
Ah, gotcha. Yeah, so basically it's instead of being a live stream, it's a pick and choose stream.
Yeah, because one of the things it says like never run out of DVR storage space. So I'm guessing you could record. I haven't read too much about this, and they don't give much detail as far as like, hey, this is what you could do with it. It is a live stream from your East Coast thing. It doesn't really say anything about that. So
that actually makes sense because if they're talking about never running out of DVR storage space again, that would probably mean that you would be able to access any show that's already been aired live.
Yeah.
Which makes sense because YouTube stores so much video anyway. Why doesn't it just store the DVR for everyone to watch if they've got an account with YouTube Live TV?
Yeah, so does this mean that I won't have commercials, or will it always have commercials, or am I going to get the 30-second commercial in the beginning of the video? Am I paying for commercials, or am I not? That's the thing.
That is interesting.
But technically, I pay cable at home for TV, and I always get commercials anyway.
Yeah.
And I am paying heaps more, so I don't care about the commercial part. I just want to know, like, how is that going to work?
Yes. Sorry, I was just closing down Outlook. It kept beeping at me, and I thought that's a bit distracting. It is really interesting, and in Australia, for example, we've still got the normal TV channels. We can pay a cable TV provider, which really in Australia there's only a couple, one or two. And they've just started a system where you can subscribe to the online-only version of...
Like HBO?
Yeah, well, actually, do anyone provide HBO in Australia? Maybe Foxtel might. I know that they do Walking Dead and so forth. They've got a thing locked in with that. So basically, if you want to watch Walking Dead in Australia, you've got to subscribe to Telstra or Foxtel.
That's basically a different box, or is that like you just got to subscribe to that network along with all the other networks?
No, you'd subscribe to. It's like your provider, say Comcast.
Yeah.
In Australia, it's either Foxtel or Telstra. That's the main
Oh, that's
conglomerate. So
horrible.
yeah,
Yeah, we don't have that. Because like I guess we might have that, but I'm on Cablevision, and my friends in Florida have Comcast, and
yeah,
we basically get the same thing.
yeah. So it
But
just depends on where you live, what sort of provider in Australia you can sort of get.
yeah, I see what that means.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
So I love Netflix. Ever since Netflix came to Australia, it's been one of the things that for me is just amazing. And pretty much all of Australia, like that, they've shown with their wallets, they've subscribed above any other service out there.
Yeah,
And these other companies are taking note. They're like, oh, wow, it's only like $10, $12 a month for Netflix, and they get all this HD content without ads.
yeah, I love it. That's what I love. And now that Netflix became so popular, there's actually a lot of shows that I like. Oh, did I tell you? Not me, but one of my friends bumped into the guy from Daredevil.
I have not. I have to admit, I haven't seen Daredevil yet.
Oh, oh. Anyway, the point is, my friend was in Manhattan, and he was like, we were gonna meet up and stuff like that, and then he ended up bumping into them recording the show, and he was telling me
Oh,
that the guy from Daredevil is like, I don't know, 5'2", so he's short, like short. But in the show, he looks like he's big and strong. And my friend's 6 feet, stands next to the guy, and he's like a little dinky guy. I'm not trying to
yeah.
insult or anything. I'm just saying, like, I did not know he was short. I never looked him up, but that's very funny because now I look back at the show, and I guess he is pretty short because if you compare it to what he's standing next to sometimes, like the kitchen counter. No, not that
Yeah.
bad. But uh, he is not that tall. And I looked him up. I think he's like 5'3" or something. He's pretty short. He's pretty
Wow.
short. Anyway, besides that point, moving on. So one of the topics that you were talking about, actually, I'm not too familiar with this, but I know of the other games that he actually done.
Yep.
Was what was this thing called again?
Okay, so it's called Shenmue.
Yeah, Shenmue. There you go. I can't even say that word.
Okay, so it's a video game that was released back in the late no 2000, I believe, and it's from a Japanese creator called Yu Suzuki or Sega, but Yu Suzuki was the director of the game. But anyway, there's always been rumors around that they're going to release a HD remaster and so forth. Actually, I've skipped ahead too far. For years, everyone's been wanting a Shenmue 3 because the story just basically stopped. So there were all rumors saying, oh, there's going to be a Shenmue 3 and blah, blah, blah. Anyway, then at the Sony event, they announced that they were going to release Shenmue 3, but they were going to kickstart it. Anyway, long story short, it was one of the biggest Kickstarters they've ever had. So it's been funded, and it basically made Sega think, maybe there is something with this franchise that we need to reinvestigate. So
When are they going to come out with this?
they're looking hopefully at the end of this year, if the rumors are right, which may push Shenmue 3 back. But in saying that, it will be a great HD remaster for people to relive the old game, especially people who aren't familiar with it, like yourself.
I like that.
Yep. Yeah.
Imagine they did a remaster of Legend of Zelda, Link to the Past. Imagine they did like the old games and they did a remaster of that. I love Link to the Past, and
Yeah.
Chrono Trigger was one of my favorites, and now they're like
Super Metroid.
Super Metroid.
Yeah.
Well, Super Metroid, in their defense, they actually came out with more recent ones too, with on the Cube. But you know what I
Yeah.
haven't seen in a while was Mega Man. Do you remember Mega Man?
I used to love Mega Man. Yep.
Yeah, Mega Man was. Imagine they did like more of a more modern twist to it. That's gonna be pretty cool.
They did try with that game that was kickstarted. I can't remember what it was called because it sort of just lost me. But apparently, yeah, it was a bit of a flop.
There was a lot of indie games that's on Kickstarter I've seen. I'm
Yeah,
afraid of Kickstarter.
I am. I've only backed two projects, and both of them got funded. One was the 101 Hero 3D printer. The other was Shenmue 3. So I've got a good feeling that Shenmue 3 will be released because he's got Sony behind him,
Well, that's
and
the thing. They're on a already established company for Sega. I mean, so this I believe it's going to come out. They just needed some more funding. But there's a
exactly.
lot of products that I read like um, what was I looking up? There was this company that was making these weird screens that you could attach computers to. I forgot what the name of it was. And they got so much money, and the next thing you know, they weren't able to deliver. Like, and it happens a lot. I think Kickstarter is a little bit too lax as far as like checking the developer to see if they're going to be able to promise. Because either way, they're going to get their money, so they don't really care as long as once the product gets to that point, then they let the creator or the developer take forward. But
We're talking about Shenmue 3 and Kickstarter and so forth, just for Solar Warrior.
oh yeah, we keep moving around topics. To be honest, between me and John over here, we hop on Skype, not even doing the live sections, but we hop on Skype and we actually bounce all over the place. And then next thing we know, it's like 5 a.m. in the morning. Well, for me, 5 a.m. in the morning because we're just talking about like everything.
Yeah, random.
So we always accidentally jump off topic, and I mean it's
Most of the
interesting.
time, it's to
So
do
we
with
just
technology.
yeah, it's all technology or whatever we're talking about. Right now we're up to Kickstarter, and for
Yeah,
those of guys who are new, who just joined recently, um, we are doing a giveaway. I'm almost reaching my milestone of 30,000 subscribers. John just recently reached the 5,000 subscribers. So at the end of the month, we're going to be doing a giveaway on a $35 gift card on Amazon. And
yeah.
at the end of this video, I'm going to leave a link in the description to gleam.io, which is the website where you could apply to actually apply to see how many. I can't even think of the word, but um,
You can enter the
enter. Yeah,
competition
you can
way.
enter up to 7 chances to win this gift card. So be sure at the
Yep,
end
and
of the
we'll,
video, just click on the description, open it up, and then click on the Gleam link. It's and then follow the on-screen instructions. It's easy. It's basically subscribe to me, subscribe to him. Clickbait, clickbait, click. No, I'm kidding. It's just follow the instructions, and then you'll see.
yeah, and if you tune in to our, it will be in April when we announce it. It'll be the first live show in April, and we'll announce the winner live on the air, so that way no one can say that we cheated or anything like that.
Yeah, basically.
So yeah, anyway, Shenmue Kickstarter and Shenmue Remastered. There were so many Dreamcast games. I was lucky enough to own one, and to be honest, there's so many Dreamcast games that they could remaster, like Jet Set Radio. Actually, they did do a remaster of Jet Set Radio. I lie.
You know what I
Um,
really liked on Dreamcast? Two
what's
games
that?
actually. There was this dragon game. I completely can't
Dan
think.
the Dragon.
Yeah, and then Rush. Don't ask me why. Rush 2024 or 2049.
Was it San Francisco Rush?
Yeah, San Francisco Rush. And then you
Yeah.
can take those shortcuts and it does the 3D stuff. And that was like one of the big major um, games that I really enjoyed back in when, that era.
Well, it would have been around, yeah, 99, 2000, because the console itself didn't last for that long because, and Solar Warrior just mentioned it as well about shipping. What happened with the Dreamcast was
Mhm.
that the copy protection method that they used was fairly easy to
It was
override.
terrible.
So, yeah.
It was terrible.
So early on in the Dreamcast life, pretty much the whole Dreamcast library was out there on the interwebs, and people could download them and burn them with their brand new CD
That's
writers.
that's another way. I think that's another reason why they had like a huge downfall. It was poorly
100%.
executed as far as you know getting the copy protection not ready yet. The library was basically online, so you could have just downloaded the game. Why would I purchase a game?
Yeah.
And
Yeah. it was a very it was a fantastic system. To be honest, it was better than PlayStation 2 at the time.
What are you doing with 6 Dreamcast? I'm just sorry. I'm just reading that. Solomon has 6 Dreamcasts. What are you doing with them?
You want to know why? I bet it's because of the GD-ROMs inside. Because the GD-ROMs themselves have a tendency to die. So if you ever needed a spare one, having them in the closet would be a great way to just rip it out and put it into a new Dreamcast.
Yeah. As far as Gamer Guy 301, if you got that question about EDI Max,
Eddie Max, yep.
I can't, off the top of my head, I don't know if it could do packet sniffing. You're going to have to figure out if it's running Athros chip inside. If it's running an Athros chip, then you could do packet sniffing. If it's not, then you really have to look it up to see if you could put it into master mode or monitor mode to do packet sniffing. But if you look up the brand or the chipset itself and it does say ATH, Athros, then you're good. Other than that, I can't help you.
Yeah.
GD-ROM's dead, yes.
Yeah, I had a feeling.
I was big into the PlayStation 1s when you put the mod chips in the PlayStation 1s, and then when PS1 came out. That's after Dreamcast, right? Or during the Dreamcast?
No, PlayStation 1 was before Dreamcast. Because PlayStation 1 was around the Sega Saturn era.
Yeah, Sega Saturn. PlayStation 2 came out afterwards. I still have a PlayStation 2 right here.
Yeah, I've still got a PlayStation 2. I've got a Xbox, the original Xbox, and a PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4 upstairs.
The only consoles I have is my PlayStation 2 and the Xbox 360. I haven't played console in a while, but I'm actually really interested in the new Nintendo Switch. I really like it.
It does look interesting. The only thing that I worry about is that I'd only be buying it for Zelda at this stage.
Yes, because I'm a big fan of Zelda, and I would only buy it for really Zelda. Actually, you know what? I'm wrong. Zelda, Mario Party, because I know that's going to come out. Mario Kart.
Yep.
And maybe Smash Brothers if they are going to come out with that.
The new Bomberman looks alright too.
They're coming out with the new Bomberman?
Yeah, I haven't looked into it too much because I don't want to go out and purchase it, so I'm not exciting myself or anything like that. But yeah, they are looking at a new Bomberman and also, I believe, a girl. Is it
going to be like a top view or is it like first person? Because if it's like first person, I don't think that's going to be that great.
No. I think they've gone to the classic third person, like above sort of view.
Yeah, that would be nice. If they really change it to like a first person Bomberman, I don't know if I would ever play that.
Yeah, it's like
now I have like a gun that shoots out bombs and it's like Call of Duty Bomberman. I would not play that at all.
No, neither would I.
But my most favorite games as far as like Nintendo wise would be Mario Kart, Mario Party, Smash Brothers, Zelda, and that's basically about it. Unless they come out with some weird Pokemon games that I might be interested in, I might do that. I didn't really read much about the Switch, but I saw a lot of the promos and I read a little bit about it, and I like the fact that it could be a console and a handheld. That's
definitely one of the plus points for it. The only downside, and a lot of PC Master Race would definitely hate it, is that the resolution and the locked frames.
Yes. And I'm just reading out one of the comments as far as what SolarWind was saying.
Yep. Gamer Guy, are you giving away something? How do I enter? So, yeah, we are giving away something. We're doing a Amazon $35 US voucher, which we will put the Gleam link in the description at the end of this video. So you can enter there. There's 7 ways to enter. And, yeah, basically we'll draw it at the end of the month on our the first April live stream that we do.
And back to Lee Young's question. That's one of the reasons how I actually learned how to solder. It's because putting that little mod chip with the 6 wires to the thing. Like, that was the very first time I actually learned how to solder and stuff like that. So I feel your pain as far as burning through PlayStation 1s and stuff like that when you were first learning, because I've done the same.
Wow. Yeah. No. I can't say that I've ever soldered a PlayStation mod chip. No.
No, yeah, it wasn't hard. It's only 6 wires that come out, specific locations, but they were hard. Remember, it's more like one of these little things, and they have like very hard. It's very hard time to get to it, but I don't, I don't know. I don't know how to explain it, but yeah. Um, Seriously,
Yeah.
you still have the original hex for the original mod chips? I don't know what you'll do with that. Sell it on eBay. Somebody might want it.
uh,
Yeah, yeah. Zero experience, me too. When I was doing that, uh, we are about the same age, you could say. I think I was starting my PS1 around 14. I was freshman in high school, so yeah, that's when I was doing it. So I'm a little bit older. If you guys are interested in what this is, check out my Instagram. I actually had this graphic card, which is like a low-powered ATI graphic card, plugged into one of these. Basically, it's a PCIe to mini PCIe, well, mini PCIe to a regular PCIe 1X, and then it's USB. So I was actually getting my graphic card to run off my Raspberry Pi. It's not really working yet, but this is how the whole setup would look like, basically. Raspberry Pi to what do you call this? MPCIe, mini PCIe to a mini PCIe to a regular PCIe converter to stick my graphic card on there, so I could get my Raspberry Pi to run a graphic card. So if you check out my Instagram, I actually have the picture of it running, but I am running into a little bit of a hiccup because it won't deliver 3.3 volts, so I'll figure that out later. In the meantime, it was a little, what do you call it, hype on putting it on Instagram. So
who plays an instrument?
you see a musical stand? Not me.
No. I used to
Maybe
play the
maybe it's the
saxophone.
light. Maybe he sees the light in the back for me.
Yeah, and I've
I
got a
think
light
it's
and a fan.
I have a lot of monitors. A stand. Maybe that might be it.
Yeah, it might be the monitor on the back.
And Peter is correct. That's why I just recently soldered. Here, let me take this apart real quick.
Yeah. Could you imagine doing a 1080 on your Raspberry Pi?
Yeah, no, this will burn through the chip already. I figured out that you can only do about like 50 watts with this before it
Yeah.
like melts. But I did solder a 4-pin connector for 12 volts, 3 volts, 5 volts, and all that stuff because it actually had a pin out for it. I don't know if you guys could see that. But it does have a pin out for it. I just soldered that in. Haven't had a chance to really hook up a PSU to a power supply to it because the power supplies that I have that are like this, like the floppy thing, doesn't do 3.3 volts. It only does 5 volts, 12 volts, and ground. So I can't get 3 volts from this.
You need some sort of regulator or something.
Yeah, I mean, I got this stuff yesterday, put it together, played around with it. It did power on, but I think it has to do with that voltage area. So after I started that, maybe in a couple of days when I get a chance, I'll put a power supply on it and see how far I could go with it. For now, it's just a really cool Instagram picture. Go
It's
like
really.
it. All right. So basically, Kickstarter, that game should be
Yep.
coming out soon, 2018.
Yeah.
Do you have any projects coming along this week that you want to talk about?
Yep, I am working with this guy here. So this is the Xbox One Bluetooth controller. And I'm working on editing tonight a video where you can hook this up to a Raspberry Pi 3 with the built-in Bluetooth. The difference is, and you would think that it would just connect straight away and have no problems, but no, of course it's not that simple. Microsoft have got a custom firmware and all that sort of thing, and there's a few settings that you need to change within the Raspberry Pi to make it work, but I did get it working. I've just got to edit the video and throw it up there and show you guys how you can, use an Xbox One Bluetooth wireless controller with the Raspberry Pi 3.
Now, that's very interesting because we were talking about this off screen before we had this conversation about that. That's why I'm mentioning it to you. But have you guys ever tried to connect a Bluetooth controller to a Raspberry Pi? It doesn't just work off the bat. And I've noticed that because I know it doesn't work. I haven't done as much research. I just, hey, it didn't connect. Oh, well. That's as far as I've gone. But there is a trick to it. And what John is saying, TechWizTime, he's saying that he's going to show you guys how to actually get it connected, which will be amazing because if you got the Raspberry Pi Zero W and you have it hooked up to the back of the TV or something, you don't want to run a cord. You know, the Bluetooth would work great.
I'm just reading the comment there saying the Pi 3 with all those dope images are so sweet.
Thanks. Like everything,
that'll be your Instagram.
Share it, tell your mother about it. No. Family members are always welcome.
Yeah. But yeah, it's funny with that Xbox One wireless controller. It's you would think, like Don was saying, that it would be easy, but there's some extra transmission modules that you've got to disable and so forth before you can actually get it to pair properly. You can see it, but it just won't pair properly.
Yeah. So after you set up all that stuff, now my question is, because I just thought of this. If you took off all that protection as far as to get the controller connected, will the Bluetooth still work with other Bluetooth stuff like a keyboard?
It should, because what it is, it's to do with a service called ERTM, which is an enhanced relay transmission or retransmission, sorry. Yeah. And it's something that is not really needed, but some newer Bluetooth devices do use it. But also, most newer Bluetooth devices are backwards compatible as well, so it doesn't really need that there. So if you are hooking up a Bluetooth keyboard or mouse, then it should still work with the ERTM disabled.
Okay. Does it affect performance, or it just works? It's just something you disable. It's not anything that it's really...
Yeah, there's no lag with the controller at all. It works fine. I've hooked it up through RetroPie. Had no issues whatsoever. I've got a method there where it will reconnect when you reboot the Raspberry Pi, so you don't have to worry about re-going through the whole tutorial again. It just works, which is really nice.
Sorry about that. I was just typing up something. I just put up the link for the giveaway, so if you guys want to take a look on the descriptions, it should be there. I just edited live. I don't know how that works. I guess if I edit it now, it should be there. Do you see it?
Yep.
Okay, so it's there now. So yeah, I mean, a couple of other things that me and John want to cover for next week is more of the PAX stuff, because this week is actually PAX East, sorry, in Boston. So they're going to be actually talking about a lot of the, especially the new graphic cards, the new CPU, mostly games. It's going to be a lot of stuff. So we're going to take some of the coverage for next week and see what's going to happen in PAX, and then basically talk more about that for next week's episode. If you guys have anything you guys want to touch base on, or have questions as far as live, or have anything that you guys are interested in,
want us to talk about,
leave it in the comments below. After this video is over, just leave all the comments below. Anything that we could improve. Maybe don't say anything about my typing, because I know last time everybody was talking about my typing. But if you guys do have any questions or anything that you want to see, or maybe some things that we should improve on or change, let us know in the comments below. And again, you got any last final words before we get off this live stream?
No, I think I'm good. I think we covered pretty much everything.
Well, SolarWind's got a question.
Shoot.
I'm giving a shout out to Estefani Explains.
Ah,
I
okay.
am so sorry if I butchered your name, but or if I didn't. But I'm giving a shout out to Estefani. She has an amazing Instagram account. She also has a YouTube, and she does like crazy stuff on her YouTube. So check out her channel. Um, check out her channel. Check out her Instagram. She's a full-out programmer and a, am I allowed to say it? A very pretty programmer. But yes, check her channel out and her Instagram. You're gonna see a lot of good stuff that you're gonna see. She does Arduinos, Raspberry Pis. She has this thing about teaching you how to solder. Check that out. She has Christmas project. I don't know. Just go check out her channel. It's really good. I'll leave her link in the description later. Once I grab all the information, I'll leave her stuff in the descriptions below.
Not a problem on the informative show. And in regards to Solar Warrior, what's the best way to record Hi8 older videos to PC?
That is all you. That is all you.
I'm guessing some sort of interface like, I know with I've got an Elgato HD, I think, and it comes with an adapter where you can record like PlayStation or the Xbox without the HDMI. So maybe something like that, but I would say it would be some sort of a video interface. And again, with Hi8, I'm not actually sure what outputs they have, whether they've got the old RCA outputs, which was the yellow, red, and white. Yellow for video, red and white for audio.
So, do you need like an old school TV tuner? You know what I'm saying?
Hang
Like
on.
a TV tuner that actually has the three composite red, yellow. That's only if it's
Yes.
using that interface.
Or a capture card. No, a capture box. So the Elgato that I've got has the HDMI in, HDMI out, but it's also got a special connector with pins on it to put the red, white.
That's the word. Lee Young answered it. He was like capture card.
Yeah.
Yeah, capture card. That's exactly what I was trying to think. Like, is it tuner or something like that? But yeah, capture card.
Capture card. Yep.
Old school hog fog. I remember those.
Yeah.
I remember those old school hog fogs and the weird universal type remotes that looks like every other remote.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Video is RCA, audio is RCA, everything's RCA.
Yeah.
Anyway, but thank you. We hope we answered your question, or I hope John answered your question. We will be finishing up this stream now. Elgato works too. Before we finish the stream, again, we want to mention that we do have a giveaway, and like I said, I'm reaching my goal of 30k subs. He's just reached 5k subs. John just reached 5k subs, and what we're going to do is actually combine our sub numbers, which is 35, and we're going to be doing Amazon giveaway. And the link is now up on our description. All you have to do is click on there, follow the descriptions. It'll give you little hints on what you could do, and there are 7 ways to enter. So you get 7 chances to enter, and then at the end of the month, or I think our first live stream in April, we'll be doing the announcement on who won live on this show one of those days. I just don't remember which day. April 2nd, April 3rd, I don't know. Or maybe April 1st, and then we'll just kid all you guys. Or just kidding. We didn't have a giveaway. No, I'm kidding. So
April 3rd. There you go.
Yeah, April 3rd. For Gamer Guy, as far as that question is, if you want to know about installing Kali Linux, I do have a video on my channel on installing Kali Linux. Personally, do I know Kali Linux? I use it almost every day. So I do know it personally. So, but yes, there are. I do have videos on how to install it on the Raspberry Pi if that's what you're looking for.
Awesome.
So yeah, I think that will be it. I think we have a really good live stream today, and thank you for watching. If you haven't done so already, hit the little subscribe button on our channel, on my channel. We do have TechWizTime's channel all in the description, so be sure to hit him up also. And if you guys have any questions, if you feel like there's something that we could do better, or if you guys got any topics you want to talk about, hit it in the comments below. To be honest, I was thinking about actually putting a quick website link on this description here, where you guys could actually list up some topics, and then we could probably go through those also. So I'll put that together, and then I'll let you guys know. And thank you for watching, and we'll see you guys next week, same time, or maybe an hour earlier, because maybe an hour earlier, we'll see. But see you guys next week. Thank you.
See ya.